Greetings and salutations, friends and comrades. I am Admiral Andre and I greet you. Welcome back to Transport Fever. This is the second part of the 5th mission of the US campaign, and let's get right into it. I'll leave it on paused for now. I know last time we spent the whole episode basically just getting the transport route up between Los Angeles and San Diego, but I think it is so critical just to get that basic foundation in place before we start spending money on other infrastructure and so on to meet the various missions that we have to do. And with that in mind, actually, let us start by looking at what all the other cities also want from us. I think we will be able to plan much better if we have all the facts. So it's like Sherlock Holmes would say, I need facts, data. I cannot make bricks without clay. So let's see, what does Santa Barbara want from us?
A devastating earthquake has destroyed half of the city. Local businessmen are resorting to unusual means to finance the reconstruction. An illustrious circle gathers regularly on a ship cruising off the coast for a game of cards. We might be able to secure landing permission for the airport in Santa Barbara around the poker table.
Okay, so the Santa Barbara mission revolves around finding basically the Californian business elite who has a regular, or I should say who have a regular poker game on a ship off the coast here. So let's actually see what it's going to cost us to buy a seat at this table.
This is where all the big names in California's growing economy gather. We won't get far with a handful of loose change. If we want to get our hands on the license, we'll have to go all in.
And that means $5 million just to get a seat there. And I think this will definitely have to wait. So we'll leave it, but now we know that really to get into Santa Barbara, we need to get in with this circle of elite businessmen, and that's going to cost us. So we need to first build up some capital before that. If we just jump over to Phoenix, Arizona, and see what they want, that will also help.
The new Grand Canyon National Park offers spectacular views and attracts more visitors with each passing year. The city of Phoenix acts as the starting point for the tourists' discovery tours. However, the journey to the national park is still quite arduous, which puts many people off visiting. If we help to transport visitors to and from the Grand Canyon, the mayor of Phoenix will show his gratitude.
And of course we can build our bank balance by doing so. So let's find this. We can click on the little crosshairs there, but I already know where the target is. It's just along this area. This is the Grand Canyon. And if we see, okay, there's some resource deposits here as well. But the specific area that we are interested in is right here, this lookout point. You can't actually click on it, it's not a selectable object, but this basically is a representation of, you know, the kind of tourist platforms and so on that you might get along the Grand Canyon. And I know that's not always, you know, you just have one and that's it. But this is just again a shorthand, you know, a shortcut that the game uses to represent tourism to the Grand Canyon. And I think it's such a neat little feature actually. It really does add a lot to the game to be able to do this. It's just like with the racetrack in our previous mission, where the people also wanted to go there. And it's again the same story. They set it up as a shopping area behind the scenes, which draws a lot of people because it's a very highly rated area. But we still go along. We pretend, of course, it's a tourist thing because, of course, a tourist area is still commercial because you pay for the service. So there we go. So that is one thing we can do, and maybe that's even what we should do in this episode, because this is another one of those missions, unlike the $5 million for the poker table, that will actually build our income. This is actually something that we can get money from ourselves while we complete this mission. So there's of course no infrastructure here whatsoever, which is why people don't really have access to the Grand Canyon. It's a very terrible trek up these hills to get to the actual canyon. So we're going to make it easy for people. But there's just one more. Let's just look at what Las Vegas, Nevada wants from us.
The village of Las Vegas is a sleepy little place, but that could all change if they get a handle on their water problem. Most of the time there isn't any, and when it does rain, everywhere is flooded instantly. An opportunity for President Hoover to boost his popularity ratings and to create a monument to himself. If we helped construct a reservoir dam on the Colorado River, we'll be richly rewarded with the landing permit for Las Vegas.
So we must deliver construction material for the construction of the Hoover Dam, and that will take place right here, somewhere. You can see this is the construction site, so the dam will be placed here. This is again much like our Panama Canal mission, where we also had to move stone in that case, but now they want actual construction material. Now, very handily, they put a construction materials plant very close, so we can access that. And really we've got two choices here. We can either ship the stone from this quarry, which is actually very near to the tourist site, through this area or around perhaps to this materials plant and then on to the dam site, or we can use this one, which the steel mill, which we anyway have to get steel for Los Angeles to build the machines, and then just basically ship the slag up to the construction plant there, and then of course the material back to the dam site. So that's what I did last time when I did this myself, and I think that might actually be a good idea, because just again for roleplay purposes, I don't want to spoil the Grand Canyon by having a giant quarry right next to it. So we can anyway use the byproduct of our steel mill, which is slag, to help build the dam. So we can get something useful from a byproduct, which is always a good idea. So now we've sorted all this out. We now know all the facts and we know what's going for what. So let's start actually in San Diego. I think this is going to be the easiest to set up. If we just have a quick reminder, they asked us here to help Charles Lindbergh, who wants to do some test flights on the runway here, and he needs a lot of fuel for that. So basically what they say is deliver fuel to the industrial area of San Diego. So if we have a look quickly, the industrial area is here. If we say that that side is north again, so this is to the east, the eastern part of San Diego, which is actually very close to the oil refinery. So we can actually just put up a little cargo station here, if I can just click on the right thing, a truck station, somewhere that will actually cover most of it, just to help us with the funds again. But this is so close really. You would almost think they could get the fuel directly from the refinery, but that doesn't work. So we can actually get another opportunity to cash in on the whole business, I think. So let me just rotate this, or even before then, let me, since they're anyway sort of expanding this way, we can just upgrade this road. Then I can build it. Something like that. So that covers the refinery and already a section of the industry, but of course we need another one to ship the fuel to. So finding a good spot is very important actually. Let's just see if we can. That would be a really great one. It covers all of the industry apart from this little offshoot area. But that's always the thing, you can never really cover absolutely everything. It's just this brightly yellow buildings, this is the core area, so they'll have the most demand. So let's focus on that. But now I don't want to destroy a lot of buildings to get this here, because then we'll be destroying some of our own customers in the process. So what to do? Actually, it might just have to be here. If we can get away with just destroying one building, I'll be fine with that. But let's just see if it's possible, because there's the twin buildings, because it's on a junction here. What about if it's actually down here somewhere? Now we miss out this area again. It is a balance. Okay, let's put it here actually. just like that. So we can just make a start somewhere that's decent. Okay, I think this will cover most of it. Let's just confirm. Yes, we miss out on one building there and here, and of course this little low density area, but that's okay. And this is so close, we can just use one truck for this actually. So let's actually set up this route right now. So this is just from the refinery a few blocks away to the industrial heartland of, I guess, of San Diego. So I'll just say this one is San Diego fuel. Now of course we need the oil for the refinery, and this is again where these rivers come in, because they are all navigable. We can build a train line, but why not just make use of the infrastructure that's basically, you know, the rivers. So we can just it will be a slow trip of course, but I think it's an interesting prospect, because in the campaign we've never really used the rivers before, or at least river transport. So all we have to do for that is to somehow connect it to the road network here from the oil field. So let me just rotate this to make it look a bit more level with the river bank there, something like that. Then just a basic road, if it will fit now. Hope I didn't mess that up. Okay. There we go, so that should cover it. Yes, just always have to confirm that. Then we can actually use this other oil well as well, but we don't really have to, but I guess since we are here we might as well. Since one oil well should increase its production based on whatever the demand is, it should really not be necessary for two of them, but I think it's maybe still wise to just bring in as many of the resources as we can. There we go, and that should do this one. Yep, no problems whatsoever, and very thoughtfully they've already raised the bridge here so that the ships can travel underneath. Usually if you're playing a free game, you'll find that the pre-built bridges on the map don't allow you to do that. You always have to destroy them and rebuild them, but anyway. So let's put the main cargo terminal. Oh, I can't believe it. Did I just build passenger terminals here? I tend to make this mistake from time to time, so I guess now you see what you should not do. But there we go. That's it. So the cargo must be selected, of course. Ah well. What would life be if everything went perfectly all the time, eh? It's not really very different, I suppose, but given the fact that we now know that we can deliver industrial products to passenger train stations, I wonder if we could actually deliver cargo goods to passenger boat terminals, but we obviously couldn't pick it up, so it doesn't really matter. Just double check that it's all connected. Yes, no problems there. So then, given that, what we can do of course is to put a passenger terminal here and then somehow connect Phoenix as well, but I don't think we'll do that. For longer distance passenger transport we really want to use the planes, so let's just focus on industry here. So just a nice of course accessible cargo terminal, so something like that. And it is a bit steep here, but it can still reach with a nice winding road there. Then all we need now is of course the depot for the ships, or the shipyard I suppose. And it doesn't really matter where we build that, but anyway, this is our main station, so let's put it here, or main harbor. Now we just need to create the lines, so I suppose it must start there, and then let's create two separate lines. So this is oil 1, and a new line which goes of course from the same station to the other one, oil 2. We can of course use one and then it picks up oil from the one and then from the other, but we can just get them to produce more at each one so that they sort of fill up the ships anyway. But for that we really have to start shipping the fuel, but not just to San Diego but to Los Angeles and possibly other places as well. But we'll get there once the whole thing is actually working. So let me just run the clock now and actually buy 2 ships. Let's see, so the Klondike is also for oil and it's 23 kilometers. The Vandal is 25, so this is a dedicated oil ship. So let's get this one, and I want crude oil, 2 of you please. And let's just close all this. The bottom one, I just want to select that, you go to oil 1. And now I can just say set line all oil 2. And there we go. So it will take of course some time, but there we go. And as long as this is connected, the crude oil will flow directly into the refinery. So it will already have some demand because it will want to store some of the fuel and oil, but we can already get up the truck line as well. Since that station or truck stop is only going to be used by one line at the moment, we can just tell it to wait until it's full. So the only real option is the Mac AC, and there we will say fuel please and buy 1 and set this to the San Diego fuel line, which I will just make then at San Diego halt. It must be full load all. It doesn't matter, I don't know what the difference is between full load any and full load all, but anyway, there we go. So that one should just wait there now until eventually some fuel starts accumulating, because it can make a round trip very quickly. It's so short, but I don't think more than 1 will be necessary. And we have got a very healthy hey, ensure the number of industrial jobs in LA grows to 600, and we didn't even really do anything for that. We just connected the passenger line or service. And I was just going to say, we already have a very excellent and healthy demand. Look at that. Basically 100 people, which is more than the train can handle already. And literally the clock has been running only for, I think this is its 2nd round trip. I mean, you saw in the last video, we just did the 1 trip and the video was now paused the whole time. And look how quickly that demand has built up there. But I do love these passenger cars. I guess this is the heavy one, or the heavy parlor. Anyway, so that is a good source of money. And now the ships are on their way, so you can see the fuel is already piling up. 12, and then that should probably be the same. So let's get the line in Phoenix working. So I'm actually going to just leave the clock running, but probably on a bit slower, because we must keep the deadline of 1943 in mind. So we have a couple of options now. I mean, the easiest thing would be to just connect this road that's already existing here all the way to Phoenix and then have a bus service run back and forth. We don't have really advanced or big and fast buses yet. We just have the Mac, I think. No, we've got the Schneider, but at 35 kilometers an hour, it's not really like the GM Fishbowl or something. I would have preferred that, but we don't have that. So let's do a train line. And again, it might seem like it's not really worth it, but believe me, it is. That this thing is going to have so much demand, it's crazy, which is great. Obviously, people want to see the Grand Canyon, and I would too. I would really love to, actually. So we need to have some kind of a end station here at Phoenix, because I'm not going to extend this anywhere else. We're going to use the air for passengers later on. So let's just put a terminal passenger station, probably just with 1 track. And let's make it high speed and just leave the rest as it is. So the terrain is of course the great challenge for us. It might probably be best to just put the station somewhere up here in Phoenix, and then of course just do the whole bus thing again. Actually right next to the airfield would be fine, I think. Like that, it is connected, so when the airplanes land and take off, they can actually have a quick connection with bus to the train station to go see the Grand Canyon. That would be nice. So let's actually put the bus service in place already. Just I was thinking now, you know, while we're building the train line, the buses can already start working and building up some passenger demand here in Phoenix. And we can use the larger station just to try it out, or even the really big one. But that's maybe not. That's for the real big cities like New York, I guess. Something like that. You know, now we are working on a tourist line, so we want this to look nice because we want tourists from all over the world to come to the Grand Canyon and obviously to Phoenix and the rest of the southwest of the US and really enjoy their time here. So, okay, what I'm going to do is put a stop. Is it possible to actually put a stop here somewhere? Unfortunately, we can't connect directly to the roads that come out of the airports, but we can connect to this road that's right before it. Maybe I can upgrade it. Okay, that does look bizarre. No. No. Sorry about that. That is not gonna work. Again, this is the pride of Arizona here. I mean, is that not the Grand Canyon state? I actually don't know what the motto is of Arizona. But anyway. Something like this. So immediately when the people come off of the airplanes from other parts of the US and eventually internationally, I pretend, then they have this wonderful bus terminal here and they can just relax comfortably here on, you know, on the chairs and in the shade there, and then a bus will take them directly to that one. It's close, but of course we don't want them walking there. Then from there we now build the rest of the line. So let's actually stop right here. I know it's very close, but I want to make it convenient. Then we stop up there. Now we get into the heavy residential area. So we have to have a lot of coverage for this part of town. Let's actually stop right here so that the people from there can walk. Then somewhere down here. Somewhere there perhaps. It does cover this area. Then we come into downtown Phoenix, so let's stop there. Then let's stop here somewhere. And should we have another one? I don't know. No, let's just go straight through because this anyway covers the whole area. But now, something that I don't usually do, but I think it's actually going to be worth doing. Especially since the game is on pause, so I can really work with the city now without constantly disrupting the people. Let's upgrade the main bus lanes with 4-lane roads with bus lane. So, obvious choice there. Okay, here we can't do it because of the corner there now, but anyway, and there will be some demolishments there. So let's just see what we can do first. Just eventually, I think this town is going to grow as well, so we just want to make it easy. It really is probably not necessary. 3 buildings, oh well. Sorry, we pay them so they can buy new land and so on. It's going to be a problem here, because this is like the smaller streets. So let's keep that actually on the 2 then, but with a bus lane again. Will it go straight or will it go through here? I don't know. We'll just put it straight. And then I can use that here as well. Okay, something like that. I know it's less than perfect now because this is not a 4-lane street, but there we go. So let's put up the network quickly. So we start here, then we go there. Then we go there and all the way around. It should cover the most of the town. Beautiful, that's it. Phoenix City Bus. straightforward, plain and simple. We just need a bus depot here somewhere. Let's actually put it here close to the train station or something, since we have land available. There we go. So for this town, it's quite a large town. 524. So let's get about 6 or 7 of the Schneiders. And Phoenix City Bus. There we go. At least now I'll let the clock run and the people will start making use of this network. Now, let's see. Yes, this is going to be the challenge now. As you can see, this is very uneven terrain. But we've got a bit of a valley here. And then what we can do is actually continue the road to the station and then have a bus run up and down. Because that's something I discovered last time doing this. I also took a train up here. But then I just left it. I thought maybe that's enough. But there has to be some connection here, so like a small bus stop or something. I can just put it in so long. Otherwise the route is not complete and the people won't take your route. You see it highlights that area, so it has to be around there. Now we can just put the station. This can do with one track again. Just something here. It's going to cost us with all the tunnels and so on, but I believe that it will be worth it. So there we go. Now I can just continue this road with a... What did they use? It was just a small one. I wonder if I could upgrade this one. Okay, it is going to do some bit of renovations here with the Grand Canyon, so let's rather not do that. And we don't need a bus lane here because this is exclusively our road. Let's try and keep the Grand Canyon as pristine as possible, shall we? What's happening? 412 2 class 9000. So this is a very nice, plain and simple road. So we just need a station again down here. Actually, the small one will do, but just for the sake now, should we? I was thinking for the sake of the experience, you know, for the tourists, we might make it nice. But that's really just so opulent, you know. But why can't we be opulent? This is a flat area and it's away from the canyon, so I think let's do some construction here. There we go. Okay, it is a bit into the landscape, but this looks so nice. We've got fountains. There's a little house or a shop there for them to buy some snacks. This is lovely. This is what people deserve when they come to the Grand Canyon. Then we just need a vehicle depot to maintain the buses that we're going to have on this route. Yeah, I like to put some role play into the things I do, so I want it to look nice. We're going to put some trees up here as well. And let's just see. Now the actual rail is important. For now we can just have a single line, but I think eventually demand will be so big we'll need a double line. So for the simplest path, I think let's follow this, then probably a tunnel or something through, and then I don't know. This is a lot of trial and error, but we'll just see what we can do. A decent high speed will really be nice. It doesn't have to be super high, but at least I'd say above 200. It really is a bit suboptimal. Okay, let's rather start on the other side. Okay, that is a decently expensive tunnel. Is it worth it? It doesn't make much of a difference. Well, I guess it's gonna be a tunnel. There you go. Hence why I said we need to make sure our financials are in order before we start all this. Now, how can this work? I just want to see what it's going to do if I try and direct connect it. Actually, that's not bad. Oftentimes it's not good to just make these long connections. You do it in short sections, but this one is actually not a bad solution. So I'm going to take it. There's a bit of a slowdown in the route there, but it should be manageable. So something like that. It's a wonderful tourist excursion, and you see the demand is building up now here. So actually the next step will be to... We've got 3 million. That's not a lot. Okay, hold on. Just let me pause this and think for a second. Okay, I think let us just continue with the path that we are on right now. But let me actually double this line. Just because this is going to be another one of those big sources of income. 88 is a bit suboptimal again. 80. Oh well. When it's leaving the station, it's anyway still speeding up. That way we can run a couple of trains on here once we have the money for that, of course. Just want to see what the tunnel will cost. That's another $1 million. Oh well. Let's just invest that money. Gotta spend money to make money, right? That's what they tell me anyway. So now just the signal system again, and then of course still the train and everything, but there's nothing that says we can't take out debt in this mission. That's the big thing. Usually if there's a requirement not to do that, then of course I'll try to avoid it. Otherwise all bets are off. I like to put it in front of this pillar stuff, catenaries, so they can see it. And we'll just put one more down here. And of course the switch system again, just so that the incoming trains have to wait. So we'll put it in front there again. Okay, now the train depot. Let's run the clock a little. Money will come in. So it should actually be here, because then they can just go straight into the station, I think. But now to do this, there will be some serious landscaping. Now that should still work. Oh well, just have to terraform. Doesn't look too bad. It's a nice feature there. So there we go. Just add another signal to the line coming out of the depot, so they stop if there's something on the line, and we can start actually putting the lines together. So this one will go from Phoenix itself to Phoenix North. So well, Grand Canyon anyway. So I'll just say this is the Grand Canyon tour. Then one more for this final destination. Lovely large stop there to the small one in so-called Spruce Street, but that's alright. So we'll say this is the just say the Canyon tour bus. And I can get one so long. Since this is not a very far, long line, it doesn't have to go very fast. For now, I'll just put one bus on here. And it can just run, it's fine. Then the train, and now we're going to run into some trouble. Again, it doesn't have to go super fast, but cost will be important. So we can try using the bipolar. That's 1.38 million a year. But you see, that doesn't make too much sense. We can just use the same as we did in LA, San Diego, the Atlantic. That's so much cheaper, and it still has a decent speed. I know the pulling power and so on is not as much, but
The money is slipping through our fingers.
Thank you, I'll take
people.
that
We'll soon
loan.
be bankrupt. But if we're prepared to grovel on our hands and knees, our financiers will grant us a bridge loan.
Thank you, much appreciated. So the heavyweight parlor is of course the lighter one of the two between the 6-axle and the heavyweight. So let's put a couple of those on. We can maybe even put the clear story passenger cars. I mean, their problem is that the speed is limited, but they are much lighter than any of the others, and they carry only 3 passengers less than the heavyweight. So I'm actually going to do that. We can say this is almost like a heritage line, you know. I'll max it. I think 153 is going to be the max for this one. So set line Grand Canyon Tour, thank you and goodbye. There we go. It cost us, but again it's investments and it is actually working towards our mission objective. So whenever you have an opportunity to make money that is also working towards your mission objectives, that is a good sign you're on the right path. So let's pick a nice color for this one. Grand Canyon sort of is orangey in my mind. I don't know, I guess it's the sunlight or something, you know. The rocks, the yellowish rocks. I don't know if I'm completely mad, but there we go. Something like that. Now, should that start working very soon? It should indeed. And we have decent buses. Oh, look at this already. That bus is full. It can't even pick anyone up. So, definitely good. Let's buy another 10 of them. I know that's totally mad, but I think it's not going to be in vain. Because people will now seriously start moving around the city, and when we connect the airport, that will really kick things to the next level as well. And there you see 21 people already waiting, 20 waiting there. So it's really going to be worth it, I think. Let's just see if the ship's picked up anything. They're still on the way, I think. No, they're on the way back. Okay, so the fuel will start flowing soon. The situation here is still sort of under control, I guess. But look at LA. Okay, but that's the people who were just dropped off going on the buses. So maybe we need some more buses in LA. Oh yes, look at all the people waiting all over the place. Let's put another 7 up here. I think that will help. Then in terms of San Diego, it's not as bad, so let's buy another 3. Here we go. So then of course we'll carefully monitor the income of each of these lines. That was the wrong button. There we go. It's too early to tell, so we'll just wait. San Diego City Bus so far was making money. Of course the train was, and this LA one as well. So it's a good sign at least that we're off to the right start. And let's just see again. Okay, what I can do in the meantime is just to maybe decorate the station here. You know, we must take a bit of pride in our heritage here now in the Grand Canyon. So what do we have available? Now the broadleaf trees won't work. This is not the, you know, a nice temperate zone. It's a very dry desert sort of environment, so conifers. That one's a bit too big. Here we go. So that people, you know, let's say they come from LA or somewhere, even further afield eventually. When they stop at this station, they must feel that they are truly now in the wilderness or something, that they are experiencing unspoiled nature. Of course, we are engineering that a little bit, but that's how all things in life go, I guess. Still, the canyon is, I'm sure it is a great sight to behold. Love to go there one day. In fact, if you've been there, anyone watching this video, do leave a comment saying what your experience was like. just love to know. Something like that. So the people come out here and they're really impressed. This is like a little oasis for them. There's a lovely fountain. They can sit and just relax. So even though they say this is a large tram station, where is it now? No, wrong tab again. There, it says large or just tram station with multiple terminals, but you can use it of course as a bus station as well. You just don't upgrade it to the tram line. Let's put some more trees here to hide this depot a little. Well, it's just part of our infrastructure here, but we do want to blend it a little bit. I'm not going to mess with anything here. I think this has to be unspoiled views. I can probably just tell that bus to wait until it's full, and as soon as the actual tourists start arriving, I will need more buses, because you know the problem will be they'll be coming off the train 100 at a time, and then they'll be waiting here, and the bus can only take 10 at a time up to the summit or the view platform there. And then of course the rest must wait, and then the next train comes, and you see we must keep on top of things there. But isn't this lovely? I would so love to visit a place like this. Very nice. So is there anyone on the train? 4 people, look at that. And here as well, look at the people waiting. 32 already. We're gonna have another full train here, just like with LA. And eventually when we can connect these cities, many of these people will want to travel to Phoenix as well, to go and see the Grand Canyon, because it's like a map-wide attraction for the people in the game here, and of course in the real world. So let me actually tell this bus, should I? No, just let it run. Might just add another one. But we don't really have to yet. And there's our first happy visitors. I see them. There we go. So they do want us to transport 100 people, but again this will be an ongoing thing. Ah, they just missed the bus. Oh well. How long do they have to wait? Only 125 seconds, not long at all, and I'll just tell the bus to turn around magically. But okay, a bus can turn around relatively easily, especially a small bus like this. Let's take a ride, and then I'll end this video and we can continue with some of our other projects in the next one, because these ones will now just keep running and you know, working towards our goals. And so we really need to start moving on that steel and machines line in LA. That's our next one, and of course then based off of that, the Hoover Dam in Las Vegas. And there's a lovely viewing platform. Great stuff. Okay, well, I'll just pause here for now. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed, and hope to see you in the next episode. Have a fantastic day.